Hey guys, it's Jessica Cameron here. And for those of you who don't know who I am going into my 4th year of my Bachelor of Science in Dietetics. So it's kind of like nutrition. And my goal is to go into medical school after I graduate. So I'll be applying to medical school this year. And I'll be writing my MCAT on July 9th, which is only a month and a bit away. So I'm really nervous about that, but excited at the same time. And if you've watched my other video about my study schedule and preparing for the MCAT, you'll know that I had a pretty strict timeline because I've only had 2.5 months to prepare for the MCAT. And a lot of people normally recommend having at least 3. I've also had a lot of other stuff on the go, like I'm volunteering, I'm still working, and I'm also taking a summer course. So this kind of puts me at a little bit of a disadvantage study-wise because I haven't had as much time to study as I would have liked to. But I mean, it's not really always the ideal situation when you're taking an exam like this, and I feel like it's just something you have to do anyways. And just do the best you can at it. So this video is really just kind of like an update about how far I've gotten in my studying and whether or not I've stuck to my original plan, which I had pretty much like laid out day for day, what I would be studying and how long I would be studying it for. So I had a question from someone asking me how my studying has been going so far. So that's why I kind of figured I'd make this video just to kind of give you guys an update. Honestly, I'm on my 3rd book out of the 6 for the Princeton Review 2015 MCAT books. And I feel like I've been getting along pretty well. It's taken me a little longer than I originally anticipated, but I feel like that's okay. And in the coming weeks, I'm going to be working less, so I'm going to have more time to really sit down and focus on getting through these books and reviewing them. So that's kind of a little bit about how far I am in terms of studying. I haven't yet taken a full-length practice test. I have, however, done some of the smaller versions online. I know there's like ones that are kind of like an hour and stuff, and I googled those, and I've been practicing those. And I also bought an app. I think it's called MCAT Review, and it was $40, and it just gives you some review questions. So I've been trying to do those every day, although I haven't been doing that religiously. So I'm really going to be smarting up the next couple weeks, and but I've been feeling good about the progress I've made so far because I feel like I've gone through everything very thoroughly, and I think that as long as you do that and you really know everything that you're studying, you're going to be successful, because it's kind of counterintuitive to study something and then have to go back and look at it later because you don't actually know it. And one thing that I recommend you guys all do, if you're looking for some advice for studying for the MCAT, because I know it's really overwhelming from experience, is looking up every single word that you don't know. So if you come across a word when you're studying for the MCAT that you have no idea what it means or where it's derived from, look it up and get familiar with that word, know what it means, and then continue on. Because too often I find like I'll read to the bottom of a page and I'll be like, what did I just read? I won't be able to recall any of the information, so I'll have to read it again or just kind of skip over to the next page. But if you're looking up every single definition that you don't know, although it seems like a pain in the butt at first, it really pays off because you'll have a really good idea of everything, all the content that you just read, and you'll be able to take away so much more. And this is so important, and I recommend that you all do it, because there's nothing worse than, spending so much time reading something and not retaining any of it. So that's one big tip for you guys. Another tip is not to be harsh on yourselves, because although I'm kind of behind schedule right now, I know that there are various reasons for it. So I've been working more than I originally anticipated. I've been working like 4 times a week, so 4 to 7 days really, and then I have school 2 of those days. So it's been really hard for me to squeeze in time to study for my MCAT. However, in the coming weeks, I'm working 2 shifts a week. And working is just it's just the way the world works. I mean, things get in the way and you have to reevaluate your situation and come up with a new game plan. So that's exactly what I've done. And I'm feeling a lot better about it now. So in the coming weeks, I'm only working 2 shifts a week, which I requested from my boss. And so I'm really going to be taking a lot more time to study for 6-8 hours a day and just really power through everything that I possibly can. Because right now I'm at the point where I need to be reading pretty much a book a week. And then the last couple of weeks is when I'm really going to like sit down and take some of those full-length practice tests, book them online. I know Kaplan has some that you can book online as well as Princeton Review, which I just got some Princeton Review practice MCATs just with the package that I bought, which was like, I think it was $200 or around that roughly on Amazon. So I'm going to sit down and I'm really going to do those, and then I'm going to go and look through every area that I've done weak in. So any area that I haven't done really well in, I'm going to go back and review it some more and really try to understand why I'm getting the questions wrong and what I need to review a little bit more, which hopefully isn't going to be that much because I'm really thoroughly studying things and looking up definitions, which is the biggest thing, let me tell you, because once you know the words and you are comfortable with the definitions, you retain so much more information, and you like rarely will have to go back and look up something that maybe you didn't know. So that's kind of the new game plan. What else? Oh yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Also the books, I think Kaplan has this as well. One of my other friends that's studying for the MCAT has the Kaplan series for the MCAT 2016, I believe. I mean, there's not really a big difference between 2015 and 2016. There's probably some minor revisions, and I have the Princeton Review one. But in both of the book sets, there are like review questions like within the text, I think. For me anyways, in the Princeton Review one, I don't know if hers has them within the text, but definitely at the end of the chapters they have like question review things, and they'll have the ones that are strictly knowledge based, and then they'll have the passage, a practice passage, so you can like make connections from everything that you read. And that's kind of like a big part of the MCAT, is reading passages and then making connections from all these different components of the sciences, psychology, biology, biochem, chemistry, whatever it is. And then really using your like a holistic approach to answer the question correctly. So I find that really useful, and I feel like doing passage-based questions is going to be very beneficial to practice. As for CARS, I started reading a little bit of the CARS book, and I think like the whole CARS book that I have for the Princeton Review, I think has 5 passages or something like that, but you have to like thoroughly review them. So I'm going to go through that more towards the end. That's kind of like what I'm going to end off on for my studying. And also, if you watched my other video, I haven't done, like originally I had that I'd be studying a different subject every day, and that just didn't work for me because my brain was kind of all over the place, and I just like to sit down and get one thing done at a time. So I've actually gone from book to book as opposed to, tackling all the books at once so that I'm not getting bored. I find I'm not getting bored anyways since I'm like understanding and retaining everything. So that's just what works for me. I mean, if you're getting bored of a subject, you can totally, switch from psych and soc to physics and algebra to CARS to biochem. Like it doesn't matter. Just whatever works for you is what I recommend. And to leave you guys off on a positive note, don't go too hard. Don't be too hard on yourselves. Like, I know that a lot of the YouTube videos probably go on about how confident people are about studying for the MCAT and stuff, and I feel like I've just been really intimidated watching all these YouTube videos where they seem to really have their crap together. It's really not like that. Like, we're all human, and things happen and we get discouraged, but you have to just keep pushing forward. And after talking to a lot of people who plan on writing their MCAT this year, I know that going into the MCAT, no one is that confident, or very rarely people are that confident. So just believe in yourself and your abilities. And if you're writing the MCAT, I'm assuming that you have a decent GPA. So know that you're smart, know that you can do this. I know it's a huge exam, but just have faith and believe and study and prepare as best as you can. And try not to take it for a second or third time. But if you need to, that is okay too. Like, I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to study and prepare as much as I can for this one, and I really don't want to write it again, but if I have to, I will. Okay? So, just a positive note for you all. I hope this video helped you guys, and I would love to receive some feedback. So, you can comment below or whatever and watch some of my other videos if they interest you. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go for the night, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, evening, or whatever it is where you are, and I'll be back to talk to you guys shortly. I'll be posting a video probably next week, so take care. Bye.